Okay, so I know some of you guys are probably thinking, oh my God, why did he cut the nice big pieces that he had for the legs into the small little strips of that nice walnut? What an idiot. Well, I might be an idiot. I really might be an idiot, but we're gonna find out. So I'm gonna try a little bit of an experiment on this. Since I'm using a butcher block top for the coffee table, I've decided I'm going to kind of orient these into a butcher block in different layers. And I'll get these all glued up into the layers, cut them down the way that I need them into the legs, and then I'll have the same kind of look as the top.
The top I'm using for this project is actually a solid cherry butcher block top that I got as a factory second from a fairly well-known factory, which really isn't important for this video, but I thought the size was perfect for this application. Of course, it's overkill for a coffee table, but hey, you know what? I had it laying around and I've already made my dining table, so I thought this was a perfect fit to use this butcher block top. So my original thought was, can you replace wood with epoxy? And yeah, I've proved it to myself here that you can replace wood with epoxy. Is it a good idea? I don't know. I'm just experimenting, but I will say that it's definitely not the budget way to go. You could mill up a piece of wood to replace where I have this epoxy for just a few dollars, to where I use probably somewhere in the neighborhoods of half a gallon of epoxy. So depending on where you buy it from, I get all mine from Total Boat. You can do the math and figure out how much that costs. So no, this is not the cheapest route to go for building a table, but again, we're just having fun. We're trying to experiment. I've been really surprised over the past few months of the things that I've built with epoxy and how strong they are. So I wanted to try to use epoxy as the single joint to hold this piece of furniture together. So we're gonna see how it turns out and see how strong this stuff really is. video down into something less than a major motion picture. Of course, have to cut out a lot of the little details and everything during the build. The biggest part of this, the most work, not only this epoxy pour, but was the finishing. I probably could have done a little more work on the mold to make it come out a little better, but in the end, it came out fine. It just required a lot of sanding. I mean, I sanded and resanded so many times to try to get this to look the way that I did. And then on top of that, the Total Boat epoxy is great. I just wanted to use what I had though, so I just used the high performance epoxy. What would have been a much better way to do it was if I went ahead and ordered some of the thick set epoxy, because you can pour that in, of course, much thicker layers. So I could have done this in one pour. Instead, I had to do this in, I think I did 3 pours on each side with sanding in between. And not only did that add many days to the process because I had to let it cure most of the way in between, it So after what seemed like an eternity of surface preparation, pretty much this whole project, I just used water-based polyurethane because it was quick and easy. I was looking to try to save as much time as I could because I had spent so many days on this project already. So I went with water-based poly, again, because it made everything so quick and easy, and I was able to sand and finish really quickly afterwards. I use paste wax as a final finish, and of course, it doesn't really provide much protection. I just love the way that it feels, and I like using paste wax, so that's what I decided to use. The water-based poly is really there for the protection. And again, this is just a coffee table inside, so I'm not super concerned with the protection anyway.